the allocation monster, an inventive sequel. Hey guys, I just put Jurassic Park in the VHS player, something I haven't done in a while, so I'm just hoping it's not getting chewed up while I make this video. Yeah, I wanted to make a video about all the different formats of Jurassic Park that I've seen it in. So obviously I don't own everything here. You know, the versions that I've seen, like the DVDs are missing because I actually sold those, but I do own it on DVD in the box set there. But I'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, I wanted to sort of catalogue not how many times I've seen the film, but kind of, like I said, all the different formats that I've seen it in. Yeah, and just give a bit of background on it. So obviously, the first time I ever saw Jurassic Park was in the cinema back in 1993, and I vividly remember seeing the T-Rex roar into the mirror. That was the sort of first time I saw the movie, and that's the earliest memory I have of Jurassic Park. So obviously when it was first released in 1993 in June, that's when I first saw the film, and so that's the first on the list. And then I wouldn't see it again, as far as I'm aware. I only saw it once when it first came out, so I wouldn't see it again until the VHS, which is this one here, my very original VHS copy right here. And this thing's been watched so many times. It's chewed in places. The booklet's all like falling. Oh god, no, like falling to pieces. Yeah, it's seen better days. But this was the, you know, I would say this holds a lot of the best memories of seeing Jurassic Park for the first time. For me, obviously, because I saw it at the cinema once. I don't really remember it. But the VHS is the one that I absolutely watched religiously. And it does amaze me that I can still watch this version today after all these years, and it's still kick-ass. But you'll notice when you watch like the video now compared to like the Blu-ray and all that, it's like the frame rate is obviously a lot more squashed. It's like you're looking for a peephole at Jurassic Park, and then when you watch it on like Blu-ray or something, it opens it up, the scope of it all even more. It'd be nice to sort of try and get a side-by-side comparison one day, but yeah. So the VHS was the next one. After VHS, I saw it on TV. I think a lot of people in the UK and the US and across the world really remember how many times Jurassic Park was on TV, especially every Christmas in the UK. It was, you know, broadcast on TV. So I'm adding TV broadcast to the list after VHS because you know, they sometimes, ITV especially, the channel in the UK, ITV, they like to edit Jurassic Park, so you are watching a different version of the movie. So yeah, I figured I'd add TV broadcast to the list. Then between the Blu-ray and the VHS here, I did own the DVD. I had the Ultimate Trilogy box set, whatever that was called, the Collector's Trilogy box set, I think it was called. I sold that recently because I was getting rid of a lot of my collection. But obviously I own the DVDs in here, so I had that and I watched it on DVD, and that was the first time we saw those extras, you know, all the behind the scenes footage and stuff. But the film itself was the first time, as I said, you kind of saw the films open up a little bit more. I remember in The Lost World especially, there was the two T-Rexes attacking the camp, and it was the first time we could actually see the male T-Rex eating in the distance, whereas on the VHS version you didn't really see that. So DVD is next on the list. And then just before the Blu-ray, I had some tickets somewhere, but I couldn't really find them in time for this video, because I've moved house and everything's just been shifted. But I actually saw it when the Blu-ray came out. They re-released it at cinemas in HD. So in 2011, I went to see it at the cinema once again. I went to a view with my other half Emma and Drew, who does the music for the TerrorDome episodes, and it was amazing. It was so cool to see it at the cinema again with fresh adult eyes and in HD as well. And the HD version was completely unchanged. Nothing was added, like colour-wise. They didn't change the CGI or anything. The 3D version at the cinemas we'll get onto in a minute. But yeah, the 2011 version was pretty much the best version I'd seen, and so that makes the list as well. And then obviously about around the same time, maybe even in the same week, I bought the Blu-ray box set because it was all the release of this Blu-ray. So I've got this box set here, and this has the DVD version in it as well, but obviously it has the Blu-ray version. And out of all the ones that I own, I actually think the Blu-ray is the best looking one. Obviously, because it's in HD, but just the quality of it is just so crystal clear that yeah, it's just gorgeous to watch. So I've seen it on Blu-ray as well. Obviously up here, as you've probably noticed, I've got 3 versions of the film on Laserdisc. I do own a Laserdisc player. It's actually not in this room, it's downstairs. And the reason I got the Laserdiscs were to add them to my collection, and then I heard stories of Laserdisc versions of some movies containing scenes that you don't usually get on like videos or DVDs or Blu-rays or whatever. So the most famous one is, as I've mentioned before in previous videos, E.T. There's a Laserdisc version of E.T. that contains a scene with Harrison Ford in, which you can get on the DVD and Blu-rays and stuff as an extra, but not actually cut into the film, and apparently the Laserdisc version does. So when I heard about that, I decided to try and pick up a Laserdisc player so I could watch these back and hopefully see if there was any scenes left in these versions of the movies. Unfortunately, as far as I can tell, these 3 are exactly the same as all the other versions that we've got. I know like deleted scenes are quite rare in the Jurassic Park universe and franchise. But so if I do find another Laserdisc version with something lost on it, you guys will be the first to know. But I don't think there is. But yeah, so I've seen the film on Laserdisc obviously several times. This one's the one with the booklet, and it's a really nice looking case. This one is pretty much the Laserdisc version of the like the VHS, as you can see here. It's pretty much exactly the same, I do believe. Yeah, like even down to the back. It's like you're literally looking at the back of the VHS. And then here we've got this this letterboxed version of the Laserdisc. Yeah, which is a really nice set. So yeah, I've watched it on Laserdisc as well. So down here we've got the BFI IMAX cinema ticket. So when the 3D version came out, I actually went and saw it first at the BFI IMAX in London at Waterloo. For those of you who don't know, the BFI is the biggest screen in the UK thus far. It's absolutely massive. But what was unique about this version of the film was it wasn't just in IMAX 3D, but it was also in 70mm, as you can see there. So it was in like a really interesting sort of ratio and format, and really cool to see. The 3D version, you know, they changed the colour grade on the movie. They made it darker. They even added in some lightning effects, I do believe, over when Gennaro jumps at the sound of the thunder around that sort of time in the film. I think they tweaked a few sounds as well. I'm not actually a huge fan of the 3D re-release. I thought the 3D looked really cool. It was amazing to watch this film in a different, you know, format again. I've yet to check out this, so this won't be on the list, the 3D Blu-ray, but you never know, I might watch this and be convinced. This is mainly because I don't own a 3D TV, but yeah, I've got this out just so, you know, I've got it prepared, but I haven't actually seen that. But I did see it, obviously, at the cinema. But yeah, I obviously did enjoy it. It's Jurassic Park, but the 3D version, I much preferred the 2011 re-release, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, and obviously I've got it here. This is when I worked at the Empire in Leicester Square, and this was, you know, just the regular IMAX 3D release. So I'm counting those as 2 different things, because the BFI IMAX is so much bigger, and it was in 70mm, and IMAX 3D as well. So they're on the list. I obviously saw it. I saw it a few times in 3D when it came out. I think I did see it twice when the 2011 one came out. But yeah. And later this year, and this was the reason I wanted to make this video, is I'm going to see Jurassic Park live at the Royal Albert Hall. The film is playing with no music over it, and then they have a live orchestra who play the score. So that's going to be really interesting to see. And yeah, and then I'll be able to see how it fares against all the other versions I've seen. Obviously, these 2 down here are versions that I've yet to see. Obviously, it's not November yet, and I haven't got a 3D TV. I have got a friend who's got a 3D TV, so maybe I'll pop round there and give that a watch. But so far, yeah, I've seen it on, well, let's count it down. So 1993 at the cinema, the theatrical release. I saw it on VHS, TV broadcasts, DVD, the 2011 theatrical re-release, on the Blu-rays, the laser discs, the BFI 70mm IMAX edition, 3D edition, and the 3D IMAX, and then soon to be the Royal Albert Hall version. I think obviously out of all the versions of this film, all the formats that I've seen it in, the VHS is the one that I have the most fond memories over, because this was the one I watched so much. But my favourite experience of actually just watching the film and experiencing it, obviously my memory is a little bit jaded to when I saw it when I was 4 years old at the cinema, so obviously I like to say that's when I first saw it, which I did, but I don't really remember much. But I'd say the best time I've ever watched Jurassic Park was the 2011 cinematic re-release just before the Blu-ray. That version of the film, and that night I saw it, was just, everything was spot on, and I was in such a great mood and sat down and watched it, and it was amazing. It was like watching the film for the first time again, and truly awe-inspiring. And it was actually one of the loudest movies I ever saw. It was so freaking loud. It was insane. Especially when like the T-Rex roared and stuff. It sort of blew me away, and I was thoroughly impressed. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed this video, guys. Please leave a comment under the video to let me know what formats you've seen the film in. I'd be interested to see if anyone actually owns any of the original cinematic film reels, and if anyone has a projector. That would be so cool to watch it on like that again, with all the grain and cigarette burns and stuff in the corner. But yeah, hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Remember to rate, comment and subscribe, and yeah, have a great day.